Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Have you ever sat there and wondered, how do I make my prints not look terrible when transitioning from a flat bottom to a wall? Well, I'm going to show you how to do that. It's relatively simple, and I'm going to be honest with you, it is a lot easier than you think it is. It's going to basically apply to all fast printing printers, like above 300 millimeters per second, and it really just has to do with temperature and speed. So I'm going to take you over to Bamboo Slicer, and I'm going to show you how to not have issues like this one right here, where you can clearly see the separation between the bottom or the top layer here and the wall, and show you how to make it smooth and buttery like this on all your prints. So let's get into it. I'm trying to just show you a little better what I'm talking about right here. You can kind of see where the dust builds up because the layers aren't quite connected properly. You can just kind of see a light color change there. Now that you have a better idea of what I'm talking about, let's fix it. All right, so now that we're over here on Bamboo Studio, let's make this as simple as possible. I'm going to slice this plate, and the only reason I chose this file is because there's a flat bottom transition to walls on both of these little pieces here. So in the slicer, this looks completely normal. We have our strength set to 3 wall loops, and we have cubic. Our quality is at 0.2, seam position is aligned. Now, support is also on, and then there's a skirt loops we don't really need, it's not really important. But if you go to here, up to line type, and you change this to speed, you can clearly see that the speed on this is set evenly, right? It's set at 250 millimeters all the way down to 10 millimeters right here at these gaps. That's the overhang. So if you were to do this at a time layer time right here, you can see right here how long it takes to do a transition of layer. So speed may be the same, but your transition time on layer right here is actually what's killing you when it comes to transitioning between your top layer and your walls. And when that happens, let's slice this down a little bit, let's view this. That transition right there makes this take forever, right? You're at 950 seconds, let's just say, 900 seconds. And then the wall, when you get up there, is all the way down to 45 seconds. So it's only having 45 seconds to clear between layer, or harden between layers, and this is taking 900 seconds. So this has a lot of time to cool before the next layer is applied, and that's where you see that original ring on the bottom. Now, if you want to fix this, it's pretty simple, and it really has to do with the time at which you print. So this one says its speed is going to stay the same, but you can clearly see that that's not true. On this purple here, you're going even slower, and then your bottom layer is the slowest. Now we can change this to be the same all around, and it can help. Your flow should also stay the same, but we're really interested in either layer time and speed, right? So temperature also affects that, but what we're really looking for is speed. So what we're going to do to fix this issue is go back to prepare. We'll just move this out of the way for now because this is a lot easier to look at. And what we're going to do is go to speed, and you're going to want to basically change all of, you can ignore these values. You're going to want to change all of these values to whatever you think. You can leave your initial layer because that one really isn't super important. Now, if you want everything to be consistent and you want a super clean print, the slower you go, the better it is. Of course, we're going to stick with, let's just put this at 50. We'll leave that. Initial info layer, 105, that's fine with me. It's when you get up into these ones here, the outer wall, inner wall, and perimeters, right? So let's just keep this at, say, 105, or like just do 150. And we'll change the infill speed to 150. 150. Go all the way down here, sparse infill. We're going to do the same thing. We're just going to copy this down, and you'll see the difference here in the slicer when we get to it. I don't always go this slow. This is really just for demonstratable purposes. Overhang speeds, you can tell it to do your overhangs at the same speed. I typically will, if I'm being honest with you. Like, no matter what, you can change these, but at the end of the day, your overhang, if you're not using supports, is going to be bad regardless. I don't touch those. I try not to do that. I will change this to 150. This one's already 150. In support interface, it can be at 80. Supports aren't that big. These ones might affect your overall. And then this one helps when you do slow down, that sudden jerk. You don't want that. And from right there, we can just leave this, right? So don't touch anything else. Now just go over to slice the plate. And you will see when we go to look at layer speed, right? It's 150. See how clean this is compared to the original slice? And then if we go from speed to layer time, you're still going to have a vast difference in layer time here, but it's more even. So, right, you're only hitting maybe the 214, maybe that 310, maybe 450, but you're still almost having the time it takes to complete these top layers and get up into these layers, which are now all going to be at that base 33. And this is what should affect how fast or how quick the drying time is, or solidification time is, between these two layers. Now we can actually increase this if we wanted to, and what you can look at is your, where is it at? Let me find it here. No. Outer wall versus initial layer. So we can go there, initial layer travel. You can even these out. You can even these out. That sounds fun, right? You can even these out. I don't necessarily mess with these, if I'm being honest with you. I will try and keep those about the same, and then we can adjust this down as well. And now if we slice it, you can start playing with things and you can see things. Our time does jump drastically if you go back to summary here. I mean, you're at 6 hours versus what originally it wasn't going to be that. But you're still the same amount of filament, so there's not a big deal there. Where was I at? Layer time and speed. But that speed being all one solid color is what you're really looking for. I know it was a solid color before we undid any of this, but it actually does, believe it or not, make a difference when you go to actually print this. Keeping everything roughly the same drastically increases print quality, especially slowing it down. And then you can see the speed here. It's much faster, and that doesn't allow for great transitions between just these layers right here. So that's what I do to actually get like a really clean print, and that's demonstrated on multiple different occasions through testing, and it's kind of hard to show with black PLA. That's the only thing I had to actually demonstrate the difference between the two. But the slower you go, the better that transition is, and if that transition is really good, you won't really mind paying the difference when it comes to the summary here. 4 hours, it's a 2 hour difference. But if you're somebody that sells stuff for a living, something like that little line right there can actually be the difference between a $10 part and a $15 part, or a part that fails and a part that doesn't fail. So keep that in mind. Don't forget to double check that if you're printing somebody else's profile, and happy printing. I'm gonna leave that right there. Hopefully this helps some people in the future. If you get those annoying lines in the transitions, that should help. There's other things you can try, like upping your temperatures and things like that. I really just adjust my speed, call it good, and find what works for your printer. Bambu Lab machines excel really well at that 200 mark, or even the 150, 175 mark, 150 to 200 for really high quality. And I don't doubt that some of you will see some dramatic differences when it comes to finished pieces. Also, it helps with helps with strength. So that's what you're looking for, really. And just like that, I'm going to tune out. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys like this. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Now get out there and print some shit.